What's up, Dragon Brood? Today, we're going to try something a little bit different. I've been putting together all these crazy deck lists and all these reanimator things and whatever, but those have been heavy on the rares, so we're trying to do something a little bit different to help people out if we can, and we're going to try a budget list today. And we're going to be playing Mono Red Budget Burn. Now, I do some different lighting and stuff, and I think I want to light this up with red today to see kind of how it goes for us. So today, we're going to have the red lights on a budget list, because if I'm not going to spend on cards, I might as well spend it on lights, right? But yeah, I'm not really sure if it's really going to work out. Not sure where things like this sit in the metagame right now with so many aggro decks happening and so many Epiphany decks happening. However, it feels like this could be a pretty good answer maybe to the Epiphany decks, and then, I don't know, crapshoot the aggro decks. We'll find out though. Let's go take a look and see what this Mono Red Budget Burn deck looks like. Now, you know, I gotta tell you, let's pay some love to our folks over at shop.ultrapro.com, because UltraPro does a lot to take care of Magic players in the community. They also have the sweet Magic exclusive stuff, and they have stuff for all your protective needs for all your collectibles. So go check them out if you're thinking about getting anything to protect your goodies. Now, this list, if you can see, well, as you can see, it's a very short list. And part of that reason, other than the cards being very tight for what it's doing, when you're on a budget, you really aren't going to have a bunch of like 1s, 2s, 3 of this, 1 of that. Mostly because that's a result of being able to play high power individual cards that you just don't have access to when you're on a budget. So we're trying to get the most efficient, the most powerful, consistent things we can do on a very small budget. And hopefully this is going to get us there. Now, starting at the top, we have Fireblade Charger. We have 2 of these. Feel free to go to 4 if you don't have some of the other cards. This was just like the last card I started to cut down on the list when I was trying to get down to a playable pile of cards. We do have both Play with Fire and Shock. Play with Fire is obviously just an upgraded Shock in pretty much every way. But the reason these are important, other than the fact they go to your opponent's dome, which you really need to do in this deck or you're never going to kill your opponent, these are critical for being able to win the matchup against the white aggro decks, particularly the life gain decks. You have to be able to kill stuff that's 2 toughness before it gets the +1/+1 counters on it. So you really do need a full set of these, or that becomes a matchup you just cannot win. If your opponent's gaining 2-3 life a turn, you're just going to be struggling to take them down. We do play a full set of Spike Field Hazards, and this is actually one of the tougher cards to play in the deck. And the reason is we're skimping on mana, so you have to really decide where it's worth it to play it as a land and where it's worth it to use it as a removal resource or damage resource. Not saying it's super complicated, but it is a thing that you have to understand after you get a few games of playing it and get a feel for where you are. So just be a little careful with that. Now, Flame Channeler's a really good 2 mana, 2/2 creature, which doesn't sound like a lot, but once you deal damage to something, this becomes a 3/3. That starts to become pretty good for 2 mana, but then you get to add counters on it every subsequent time you cast a spell and deal damage, and then you can remove those counters to be able to dig into your deck, the top card of your library, and you can play it till end of turn. Since you can almost always play whatever you find, that makes this very good, because everything's pretty cheap in this list, and it's all 1 color. So this card's going to get to do a lot of work for you. It's a very, very good card here. And one of the ways this deck has a chance is because it can dig deeper and keep finding more cards. Which, speaking of, we're playing 2 Magmatic Channeler. And this is one of the other spots, well, actually the first spot that we're spinning a couple of rares in this list. The reason being that we're playing so many spells, it should be pretty easy to get 4 spells in the graveyard and have this be a 4/4 for 2 mana, which is great. But again, it also allows us to dig deeper. So if we're in those situations where your opponent's at sub 7, sub 6 life, you can go ahead and dig, see if maybe you can find a 3 damage thing and pair it with something and finish your opponent off. So this card, very good. But again, if you don't know them, feel free to try some Fireblade Chargers in the list instead. Then we have Royal Eruption. Assume we're never going to kick this. We're just going to be using it for 3 damage. There's really not much else to say about that particular card. Now, Thermal Alchemist, I actually haven't played in the deck in a really long time, so it's really kind of cool to get this into a deck list. And this basically says every time you cast a spell, you're going to get to do 1 more damage. The fun part about this that everybody needs to remember as well is that this doesn't care if you deal damage with the spell, just if you cast an instant or a sorcery. So even the lesson cards you cast are going to be able to trigger this as well, and that's very cool. Then we have a couple of Voltaic Visionary. This is a pretty sweet uncommon that kind of has flown under the radar from Crimson Vow, but it's a 2 mana 3/1 that you can actually attack with, and that's actually fine. Sometimes just fighting with it is good enough. However, you're pretty much always going to be able to turn it to a 4/3 whenever you're ready, because you'll be able to cast every card you get from the top, assuming you do it on like turn 3 or so. So there are some tricky situations where you can actually block with it, then tap, turn it into a 4/3. See if you get lucky and find an instant. That's a thing. You can also just use it during your opponent's end step to see if you get a free chance to turn it into a 4/3. Maybe get a damage spell off it while you're at it. So like that's a thing. But yeah, lots of good stuff here, and it's only a 2 mana creature, and it's an uncommon, so it shouldn't tax your budget hardly at all. Then we have Igneous Inspiration. 3 damage, do whatever you want, and then you can go get lessons out of your sideboard. Thumbs up. Like, it's pretty basic what that does. Now, Magic Missile. This is a card I see sometimes in other deck lists, and it's funny because this is literally, I think, the first deck list I've actually put Magic Missile in. Not a huge fan of the card, mostly because it's sorcery speed. However, in this case, we're just looking for things that could do 3 damage or more a lot of the times, and this is actually pretty good because when you're playing against some of the white decks or the cheap aggro decks, like this is actually not bad to be able to split damage across multiple things. Also not bad if your opponent has something like a Loth, where you can ping a Loth, get rid of a blocker or two. Works really good in those situations as well. And we're not seeing a ton of true counters these days. There's a lot of people playing stuff like Divide by Zero, but you still occasionally run into Saw It Coming or Test of Talents, and this actually can't be countered by those, so that's actually really good. So yeah, no complaints about this. The right card for the list. And then this is the other spot we're spending actual rares that I think are probably pretty critical to the list, but for Light Up the Night. Again, if you don't have these, you don't have the budget for it, you don't have the wild cards, feel free to put some other burn spell damage here. It will probably be mostly fine, but this really does a lot of stuff, letting you take down like a 4 or 5 toughness creature. You know, like we said, sometimes you get your opponent to that 6-7 life point, and you know, being able to do the chunk of it with one spell would be very good. We're never going to flash this back. We don't have any planeswalkers or anything, but this is strictly just for the damage it's able to pile up for you. And then we have 18 mountains because we can't have other fancy lands in our budget, so this is just what we got. Now, the interesting thing I will say here is there's a good chance we should be able to deal with the other aggro-y decks if we can get enough early burn. And we should be able to deal with the Epiphany decks, just being able to burn them out off the top. The mid-rangey stuff, this might be a spot where we fail. Don't know yet. But we're going to go ahead and play the games. At the end of the games, we're going to talk about what we would change about this list to make it better or more playable in the format. And then we'll have a card spotlight for you, as usual. Alright, we're going to keep it. I have no idea if we're going to be able to get any wins with this thing, but let's find out. Nothing we get to kill here. I mean, we could have shot the opponent, but it's less valuable to us. They're probably going to play something worthwhile here that we can shoot with the play with fire. Nope, they actually want to get rid of our flame channel, it looks like. That's unfortunate. Yep, they're going to portable hole it. Not a surprise. Since we have this, I think I'm going to go ahead and blast the opponent. And, you know what? We can take this just in case we really want that channeler back. Don't know that we do, but, I mean, we can pick off something small or get the channeler. I mean, because there's a chance they play something like, I don't know, Elite Spellbinder here. Just Redain. Good old Redain. Man, I say we just kill Redain, huh? I'm just not sure if it's worth keeping that or not. They're both sorcery speed. This costs... the opponent's hand's pretty stacked, though. I'm just thinking of a scenario where they might play, like, I don't know. They don't seem to be on the super cheap side. But maybe they play, like, Clarion Spirit and something, and then we want to pick off the Spirit and a token. So, I'm going to do this. And I'm actually going to put this into play tapped. Mostly because there's a possibility that maybe next turn we want to start from scratch, shoot something, then turn that into a 3/3. So there's a few spots where this could work out. Unfortunately, the opponent's still at 17, and we haven't done real damage to them, so I don't know how we're going to come back in this. It's not looking great. There is a Thalia that's going to slow us down, unfortunately, because we're a spell-heavy deck. There's some... That doesn't really do it. Actually, no, that's totally fine. Good thing we saved this, actually. So we could spin 4 and target 2 and 1. So we sort of got what we wanted out of that. And we're slowly whittling the opponent's resources down here. Alright, another Redain. Now we have to start, like, deciding how badly we want to get this other creature back, right? I mean, it's possible they just have more portable holes or something, too. Because I'm just thinking if we get that back, then we can shoot them, turn that into a 3/3, and then kind of go from there. And then if they have another portable hole, I guess it's fine. We just go ahead and play this. I mean, I'm willing to take that chance, I suppose. And we'll just see what happens. I mean, I have a feeling it's just another... Oh, okay. Well, that's actually not so bad. That could have been much worse. So that's all. They've been holding just removal things, basically. That's fine. So I think what we do here is go ahead and play this. Then we'll shoot Redain. Turn that into a 3/3 and we'll attack. Alright. Whew. Intrepid Adversary. By itself, easy enough. We can kill that. So that's good. Actually, do we have enough here? This only deals damage to opponents. So if we play this, we only have 3 mana left. It's not enough to kill an Intrepid Adversary, sadly. Alright, well, we gotta kill the Adversary just because it has lifelink. I mean, we could run into it, but that's not that beneficial to us here. Let's shoot the opponent, and then that'll untap. We get a counter. Get to attack. End the turn. Alright, we got the opponent down to 10. Another Adversary. Gosh, dang it. That's unfortunate. That's a real problem. We're going to end up having to block that, I think. Come on, burn spell to kill the Adversary. That qualifies. I mean, it's very fitting that 2 light up the knights were to kill the 2 adversaries, but hey, we do what we got to do. Alright, we're attacking. End the turn. That's not going to get it done for the opponent. Yep. Woo. Let's keep it. Alright, we keep finding our mana, which is good. But that's kind of like the most we can say about all this. Alright, I'll play this expecting it to die. Not much we can do about it, though. Didn't have another real play that turn. I mean, we could have Royal Eruption the gas, but like that doesn't really do anything. That we can kill. Like that makes a big difference. Question is, what do we want to do it with? I think we do it with this. Getting probably this. We're playing against an aggro deck, and we potentially are going to need some of that mana. They didn't block here, which is also interesting, because I would think if they needed the treasure, they would have blocked and maybe played, like, I don't know, Necro Duality or doing something quirky here. But that ended up not being the case. So now I find this all a little peculiar. Alright, let's see what happens here. Nothing. Well, do we attack? They block. I mean, they weren't interested in blocking last time, so I don't know. Weird. Alright, maybe this gets countered. And we're playing the burn deck, so I'm just going upstairs. Like, oh, now they want to kill that. And they gave us a card for it. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here at all. I mean, the card probably is going to end up not mattering, but just a weird sequence of things here. Yeah, we play that. See if it survives. Go ahead and go up top with this. I mean, if this gets divided or something, I would completely understand. Oh, that's getting divided. Alright. Do we just make a thing that makes a 4/4? We're at 5 mana, so we're pretty far away from that. Yeah, let's go ahead and take this. It might matter. I mean, I say that. There's a chance they're just going to end up playing, like, Meathook Massacre, because everything that can play back plays Meathook Massacre. And not that I blame people, because I totally do it too. I think I'm going to hold this, because we almost are in kicker range for it. But let's go ahead and do this. And just put pressure on the opponent. I mean, we have some big spells to finish with here, so if we can get them low enough and they don't have a bunch of life gain here, we could be alright. What does this thing do? It removes X counters from a permanent, or target creature and opponent controls gets -X, -10 work. Is the mana exiled? Okay, that's fine. Do we even have to worry about racing here? Can we just beat the opponent? They're at 11. We can do this and this. That's 6. And then that would get us 5. Or we could just do this for 4 or 5. Do this. Shoot them. Get a 3/3. Not sure if this is more better or worse here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just play this, because we're 1 mana away from kicking this. And it's not like the opponent's really in a great position to attack here anyway. Though they could meat hook for like 3 or something here. Oh, divided by 0. Okay, fair enough. Still doesn't change much for us, really. I mean, they can cast that and just get a bunch of cards. I guess if they have tested talents, though, that could be kind of annoying. Yeah, it doesn't look like this is going to change much for us. I think we get this back down. See what they want to do with that. Fading Hope, sure. You keep on keeping on, opponent. You be you, friend. This is 3, so if we want to make a 3/2 next turn, we could do that, still recast that. Alright, I think I am going to do that. Mostly just for mana efficiency's sake. I'm not sure how many counters the opponent has left, or how many divide by zeros or whatnot, so we are having to be a little bit careful. What I think I'd like to set up here is a situation where they do spend some number of cards, to deal with our stuff, and then maybe we could sneak through the burn we need for a win. But we'll see. We are getting pretty low on time options here, so we have to be very careful. What do we do here? If we do that, it's not going to leave us a lot of room. Do this, they could finally cast their Meat Hook Massacre. Maybe. Alright, I guess we replay it. Okay. Now, I could have used that opportunity to maybe get burned through. I mean, I have to admit, that could end up coming back to bite me. Especially knowing that they're going to gain 2 here. We probably should have taken the damage we could. But this also does mean the opponent could do some shenanigans here if they wanted to. Environmental Sciences. Alright, so it's what is this last card then? It's going to really decide a lot. Eye Twitch. Alright, so attacking pretty much does nothing for us here. So we're just going to block. Oh, it says Menace. Ooh. Well, we know what their hand is, so can we just kill them? We have... we can't. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually, we can. And we'll have just enough. So, yeah, we just take it. We drew... Well, we drew the best thing possible there. I guess that's fine. Shoot the opponent for 2. Tap this. Shoot the opponent for 3. Tap this. Alright, that'll do it. Oh, this is a fairly easy keep. And we'll just pass. Reasonable. Whoa! Whoa! I guess it's okay. We didn't... guess that did kind of screw us a little bit. Alright, Spellbinder. Pick which one gets to hit you. Yeah, I should have had killed that during their instep, had the Flame Channeler down on this turn. That's actually going to make a big, big difference in this game. Especially here where I'd be shooting the Spellbinder and then attacking for 3. Like, 3 damage missed is a big deal in these fights. Especially when you're on a budget and your opponent's actually getting to play with just better high-power cards. Interesting that that's what they chose. Huh. Not so certain I would have chose that, but it is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take a 4/4 token. Just because we're going to be in some creature battles. Spellbinder probably takes Magic Missile here. Protect the Spellbinder and a future creature. I was going to say, that's what I would do. But I am not everybody. What do we take otherwise here? I am a little concerned that Adeline or something comes down here. So I'm going to take this just as in case of emergency. I don't think... It may be worrying too much, honestly. Their hand's likely just a bunch of creatures that exile things. Like, if I play this, they're probably just going to play the Brutal Cathar or something. I would not be surprised if that's the case. This unfortunately costs 5 now, so it's going to take all of our mana. I think we do it, though. But yeah, missing those couple early plays, just that misclick literally has changed the whole complexion of this game, which is super sad. Dogmira. Good call by the opponent. Alright, so we're going to play this. Brutal Cathar gets to get rid of it, which is fine. because we eventually have to play something. But it looks like it's not Cathar. I would have very much assumed a Brutal Cathar would have been there. It's interesting that it wasn't. Maybe they want to use Cathar. Oh, they had that. That's why. You're going to save Cathar for something else. Totally get it. Totally get it. So here we're going to play this. And then we're going to shoot this for 1 and opponent. Actually, we can't do that. Gosh dang it. Because this is going to say, if a source can deal damage to you or opponent you control, prevent 1 of that damage. Remember, you or another permanent you control becomes target spell or ability. Your opponent controls counter it unless they pay more. So I guess we just do this. And this. I mean, I think that's the play, sadly. Okay, there's a Cathar, sure. I mean, we can get back whatever, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, we just have to pay for the privilege, but we will pay for the privilege. Submit. And we just deal all the damage to it, because dealing 1 to the opponent does nothing. We will pay. We get a 3/3 channeler. We get our Voltaic Visionary back. We get to attack the opponent for a whole 2, because I do have Valkmera. And I think we have to go ahead and play this, just so we can possibly get rid of Valkmera if we draw another land. Ooh, Adversary. That is a problem. However, we do still have Light Up the Night, which is mostly fine, I guess. Ooh, and a Channeler. Also cool. So we would have to do this for 3 mana, 2 to hit. So that's 5, and then 1 to pay for Valkmera. Alright. Ugh. Annoying, but necessary. I mean, not much we can do, really. We'll just attack. Eventually, I need to turn this into a 4/3. But we'll see. Alright. So that makes our card cost way more than anything realistic. We may just be dead here. Alright. So Redain's going to get to block a bunch of damage. Let's go ahead and take damage here. See if we can find something playable. We do not. That can at least fight now, so that's a thing. We could play this, and it can fight next turn. We could also remove a counter. See if we find something worth playing. That doesn't really do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's just not going to do it. Yeah, unfortunately, Valkmera plus Redain, I think, is going to be the death of us here. I mean, we still got to play it, though. Because there's a chance. There's still a chance, right? We get to see a lot of cards next turn, potentially. So we're not dead yet. We are 1 turn away from dead, though. Alright, that matters. We can kill Redain. But then what? Like, I'm just kind of like processing here. Like, we can kill Redain, but then do what? Because then we're still going to die at 3. So I'm trying to think like what we're hoping to do here. Like, we would have to spend 4 to kill Redain, leaving us 3 mana. We would remove a counter. Or actually, we probably just find 2 cards with Channeler and see if we can find a removal card for Spellbinder. I think that's our only play here. Oh, crap. That's only going to deal 2. We didn't have any outs anyway. Yeah, we had no outs. Oh, they're going to Guardian of Faith it anyway? Okay. That's a little weird. So we just don't pay then. Okay. So now what are we looking to do? I don't think we have an out now, right? Because we have to find... Well, we could find an instant to kill Spellbinder. I mean, that's a thing. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here. All right. Let's see. Let's discard. Oh my gosh. All right. We lose. This might be the worst hand we've kept so far. No turn 1 play. We don't have the third land to cast our 3 mana things. We drew another 3 mana thing. And I assume this Thermo Alchemist is not going to live very long. Yeah. Likely just gets hit with a Fading Hope here. Just bounce at opponent. Let's go. I don't know why so many people wait so long when you know they're going to Fading Hope. Exactly. Like, we know it's going to be a thing. What are we waiting for? It just always feels so silly. Alright, so now I'm trying to figure out what our plan is here. Probably get off one of these Igneous Inspirations. So we can go find Environmental Sciences, I would guess. Then maybe some combination of like Alchemist Sciences next turn or Alchemist Eruption. And then I don't really know what we do from there. That's not bad, but does not... Oh, we actually don't even get to cast that. We didn't even get a third land. Ugh, gross. Okay. Well, I guess on the positive side, they didn't have another Fading Hope. But they are not missing mana drops. They have all the land they need, and then some. Yeah, this Alchemist dead. I mean, we're stuck on 2 mana, opponent. Like, you should crush this. Yeah. I was going to say, that should be a no-brainer. Like, what were we even hesitating for? Like, I genuinely can do nothing right now. Discarding... Jeez, I don't even know. Probably this. Just for efficiency reasons. I mean, if we find a way to come back from this, it'd be miraculous, but I just don't see it happening. Unless their hand is literally like, I don't know, all Hull Breakers and Leer or something, but even then, I don't think it would matter. Yeah, sure. Because there's a good chance they have something like at least Jirari's Disruption, since they know we were stuck on mana. I don't think that's an unreal assumption to make. Let's see if they try to cast something to our instep. Nope. Alright, well they have 6 mana this turn. They'll have the obvious 7 next turn. You just show us what you're willing to do here, opponent. Nothing is the answer. They're going to save for Memory Deluge and something? Alright, let's find out. Interesting. Well, I guess we kind of got to take that, sadly. Sort of want other things, but makes sense. Alrighty. Shoot the opponent here. Alright. I'm assuming it's at least a deluge here. Nothing else really makes it. Not even that. Wow. So no deluge. You didn't shoot us. You didn't kill our creature. You didn't bounce our creature. I mean, I guess you could have 2, 3 Epiphanies in hand and just want to chain them off on back-to-back turns here. That would also be reasonable, I guess. It's not even an Epiphany. What is this hand? I mean, I guess. I mean, what else are we going to do? This little alchemist is getting to work overtime this game. This dude is punching the clock. Alright, there's a hole breaker, sure. I mean, now the downside is we probably don't ever get to resolve one of these again, which is super sad for us. Only way this happens is if we find... I guess it'd have to be literal burn spell. Like, it'd have to be cheap burn spells at that, so we could recast them. It would need to be, like, play with fires and stuff. Yeah, I think that's the only way here. Ooh, okay, hold on. There's 7, 8, 9, 10. They do have at least 2 instants. Ah, this is a thing. This is definitely a thing. Well, I guess we try this first. I mean, I don't see a way we survive. We have to have them have no other instance in hand for us to be able to kill them. There's a pretty low expectation without drawing some type of cheap removal. Or cheap burn spells. Okay, that actually works because... Well, it just doesn't matter. The clock's still basically the same. Doesn't really change anything. Yep, that's what I was saying. If they had another instant, we were already going to be in trouble. Yeah, we can't win now. Unless literally we draw a 1 mana, 2 damage spell. I think that's the only way. With our mana. And even then, we'd have to have one of these resolve, which right now isn't going to. Because they have the ability to cast... Well, Cinderclasm only, huh? Well, not enough, though. Not enough. We're dead. Man, we just missed mana for too long. We actually had a shot here. Yep. Sadly, can't do it. And then they're also going to gain 2 next turn, so we're kind of wrecked. Yep. Close, but no cigar. I mean, the best thing we could do is... Yeah, just put them to 1. Ah, close. Close. Oh, they had another instant anyway. Yeah, so we had no chance regardless. Yeah, alright. Damn it. Ooh, can we keep this? I feel like we can. I think this is worth a gamble. I mean, probably going to get us in trouble, but I'm willing to go for it. Let's see what the opponent's up to. Pack leader. How do we feel about pack leader? I think we're okay. I think we play this. If they want to play a fight spell, so be it. My idea, though, is we're probably going to end up... Oh, they're probably just going to burn this. You know, I feel like it benefits us to just block this. And they probably didn't think we were going to block. So let's play this. And pass. And then I'm just going to try to get the most out of our burn spells here. We will block. They're probably going to try to Snakeskin Veil here. Oh, really? Do these have like a 2 damage spell? Ah, well, same difference. We got away with one. Alright. And now we got 3 damage burn spells to take down like Tovalars and stuff, assuming that's what's there. You know what's funny? Oh, okay, that is what I thought it was. For some reason, I was like, I didn't even process that was a snow-covered land. Because it wasn't. Alright. Shoot the opponent. Let's go ahead and let's blast this duder. Shoot the opponent. Go get something that probably puts counters on a thing. Yeah, let's get that. Get in there for 1. Not sure that's the correct thing to get here, but I kind of wanted to because I haven't cast it at all during these games. Opponent's really thinking this one through. It's a Reckless Stormseeker. Alright. I was going to say, I have a feeling they either have Blizzard Brawl or Snakeskin Veil here. Sadly, it was a Brawl. I almost would have rather it been Snakeskin Veil. But that's okay, I suppose. Alright. Shoot the opponent. Oh, that's not a bad one to have. I actually kind of wouldn't mind putting that on there, but probably also a waste. So let's not do that just yet. What are the odds we're going to get to split this across something important? Probably pretty low. Let's shoot the... I don't know if we're going to have enough gas to get there, y'all. I'm a little concerned. I don't think we're going to have enough in the tank. Unless the opponent just draws land or something here. Yeah, that's not helping. Now we're having even less fuel for the fire. Creatures? No creatures. Now we have to start doing math on how much burn we have. 3, 4, 5. Let's say we draw land over the next couple turns. That'd be 9. That's not even near enough. Alright. We really need a creature to stick. Oh, that sucks. I forgot it was going to turn it into a vampire. Or turn to a or flip on the backside of the werewolves. Gosh dang it. That was a mistake. I should have cast something on my turn. One of those things where I didn't see anything on the table, so I totally forgot about it. Ah, that's such a mistake. Damn. Yeah, and there's no doubt there's probably more Blizzard Brawls and stuff over there. Super unfortunate. Alright. I'm gonna do it. Probably gonna pay the price for this later, though. Only doing that in case there's something that they could have burned it with or something that's cheap, but I don't really want to block it here. And obviously it did reduce the size of the creature. Okay. This isn't so bad. What can we do here? We can Light up the night to kill Tovalar. Attack for 3. Alright. I don't have no idea what else is in their hand. Ah, dang it. Oh, I thought they had like a burn spell there. Why did they even block? Well, I guess they're only at 9, so they don't want to get too low, especially after you saw it light up the night. Okay, Ranger class. That's good for us. That's good for us. That's all it is. Especially since they've shown they don't have a burn spell for us. So that's super exciting. Ooh. We can kill a creature. Attack for 3. Do we? Or do we just attack, let them block again? Then put them... I think we just attack. But there's a chance they don't block. I mean, they blocked last time, but I don't know. Maybe there's a chance. Now we put them in danger range, and I'm just going to go get this. Just have another body. And we get 2 shots at finding another card if situations get tight. This also kind of creates a spot where they don't necessarily want to attack. Now, granted, they could find another Blizzard Brawl or something, and there's not a lot I could do about it. I might burn one of the counters just to... Yeah, exactly. See if maybe we find a 1 mana burn spell here. We did not. Alright. Fair enough. I guess I got punished for not just putting counters on our creature like I should have. Oh well. Live and learn. We'll just draw a 3 damage burn spell off the top anyway. No, that's close though. Doesn't quite do what we want. Now it's how much removal does the opponent have? Because they're also at 3, so I think we are incentivized to block. Knowing how many burn spells we have. Okay, that doesn't change much. Yeah. That's fine. We take our damage. They draw a card. Alright, it's all about what we draw here. Ooh, exactly enough. Excellent. That'll do. Woo! Okay, we get to go first. Let's keep this bad boy. Normally, you know... Yep, let's just do it. I was going to play the Spikefield Hazard tap, but I was like, you know what? If the opponent has some stuff, I want to be able to kill things, but they didn't have stuff, so we don't get to kill things. So this at least works out. If they play something that's a 3 toughness, we can still kill it and then play our Spikefield Hazard anyway. If not, we'll go ahead and just play Igneous Inspiration, kill a thing, and get to go get a card from our lesson board. So this should be very good. Opponent. Florahedron. Huh. Well, that's a choice. Let's go ahead and use this. See if we can find a land on top. It is not, but it's a spell we can play, which still lets this flip. So we are accepting of these negotiations. And now we get to play that tapped. So that turn actually still worked out okay for us overall. Unfortunately, here comes a Blizzard Brawl that's going to kill our thing. Yep. As we expected. Kind of sad when you just know sometimes, but what you going to do about it? We're going to go ahead and take this so we can make sure we have some extra mana. Then we're going to attack. See if hopefully we can live behind these alchemists and if that's going to be enough for us. I don't know that it's going to be, honestly. But let's find out on today's episode of Red versus Green. All right. Now, the good news is if they did place... Oh, did they just have a bunch of land? I was going to say, if they had something like a Renin 7 or whatever, we'd have had plenty of burn for them. But that ended up not being a thing. Not gonna lie, now I'm a little bit concerned. I think we just end the turn here. Mostly because if they do play a land and a Wrenn and 7 or some such, we're going to need 6 mana to be able to kill whatever big body they put in the way. Nope, looks like it's probably just Blizzard Brawls and such. Yeah, makes sense. Shouldn't have expected much else. Gonna Thermal Alchemist. So now we have to decide how we want to spend our mana next turn, right? I think because of what we're up against, I'm just gonna let them kill this and then we just run it. Unfortunately, I have a feeling they've got Snakeskin Veils, which is just gonna be awful for us. Actually, if we think the opponent has Snakeskin Veils, do we just shoot the... Let's just shoot the opponent. We have enough burn in our hand just to say, like, F it. You know? Like, if you got it, you got it at this point. We're just gonna let you smash us. Do we take... We'll just take this because it's damage at this point, right? I'm just gonna get all I can in here. I just can't see why not. When it goes to 5, we can put them to 4, and then we have 3. Yeah, so we got the damage in hand, so yeah, I'm gonna attack. I mean, they don't have a choice but to block. You either take 1 or you take more over a couple turns. They're actually not blocking. Okay, sure. We just get the free damage then. Whatever. Yep, Chariot is not going to matter here unless they can gain some life. Yep, not concerned about it. That gets to come through for 4. We'll go to 16. Shoot the opponent. And, yep, we have all the damage we need right here. Yep. Good one. Well, I have to admit, I'm actually not too upset with this list. It kind of performed like we expected. You know, there's sometimes the opponent just drew well and not going to be able to do much about that. I think we had a game where the opponent got both Valkmira and, what's her name? Redain against us, and that was actually really unfortunate, that combo of things. So that caused some problems. But outside of those scenarios, we actually felt like we really were in most of the games. And surprisingly, even with the extra games I played off camera, the only time I lost to Epiphany with this is the times we just didn't draw enough mana. Like, I'd stuck at either 2 or 3. But otherwise, we actually were able to beat them. So that's actually really good if that deck's been a pain in your butt. And we did hold up against most of the white aggro or white-based aggro decks, except for, like I said, that one crazy situation. So those are the 2 decks you run into most on the ladder, it seems. So that was actually pretty cool. And I think we managed to... We were like 50-50 against Mono Green. So I don't think there's much I would change. Now, again, if you wanted to go non-budget, feel free to play, like, Cave of the Bugbear. And, you know, you could even go as far as to play Chandra if you want. Like, there's a bunch of things you could do if you go to add rares into the deck or mythics. But... as is, I think this is a very reasonable budget build for everybody that should be attainable for the average player to put together. Even if you're just playing over the course of like a week, you should probably be able to acquire most of the cards to build this. Now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Collective Defiance. This is a pretty sweet card that for only 3 mana, you get to escalate it for 1 additional mana each time. And when you escalate, you can choose an additional option on the card, which is very good. But it's interesting because it does fit a lot of different decks, because there's a lot of commander decks that like what we call Wheel of Fortune effects, where somebody discards cards and then draws that many. Well, this lets you do that for a single player, so you could take advantage of it or damage somebody else if that's what it calls for. But you can also kill a pretty sizable creature, deal 4 damage to it for 3 mana, or you can just hit an opponent for 3 damage. So this is the type of card I totally would have wanted in a list like this, because the options are all very good, and it's only 3 mana. That would have been great. Now, that being said, if you want one for one of your other decks, it's actually pretty cheap, and you'll probably find these for anywhere between, like, I don't know, 50 and 75 cents. So, though it is a pretty versatile card, it's not highly sought after or highly played, so if you find it interesting, feel free to pick them up somewhere. But just wanted to highlight it because it's the type of card that would have fit perfectly into a deck we played today, other than, you know, it's a rare. Don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links to my Facebook gaming page, my Twitch streams, and my Discord if you want to come by. We've been having a lot of different discussions lately, so you can come be part of that. Also, I want to say thank you to all of the channel members. If you would like to be a channel member here, I'm not keeping a Patreon for the channel, but if you support people via Patreon, consider joining here because it all just stays on YouTube and it's easy to manage. But y'all have given me some good feedback. I will be taking that into 2022 and seeing what we can do with that. And if you don't want to just join the channel and spend 99 cents, I totally understand. Please consider hitting the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Remember to choose all notifications to make sure you get all of the lists we have coming. Also, let me know in the comments how you feel, if you want to see more budget lists or not, or if this even is a thing you're considering. I'm very curious if we should be doing more of that here on the channel or not. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.